Okay, good morning, or it could be afternoon where you are. uh, I'm Margaret Arney. I'm from the Fabric Barn in Rosebud, Texas, and this is lesson 8 of our block of the month for 2023-24. Believe it or not, we only have 2 more after this one for this year. And then we'll start again in January to put this quilt all together because we'll have all the little pieces. So I'm going to take a break.
Right, take 2.
Okay, so here we are back, and we'll go over what we need for lesson 8. So you're going to get your bag of light strips that are wide. You're going to get your bag of dark strips that are wide. There's 3 of each of those. And you are going to get your bag of dark strips that are small, and you're going to, or narrow, and you're going to get your bag of light strips that are narrow. There will only be 1 of each of those. So, and then you're going to need to label 2 bags, an F bag and a G bag. And you will need something to cut half square triangles. I'm sorry, I tried not to have any half square triangles in this, but it was impossible. So there's not too many, and you won't be overwhelmed by them. So you will need a way to measure. I use a Cozy Quilt Designs strip ruler, and that's what I'll be showing you when we do this. And you'll need a rotor cutter and a mat. So that's what we need for today, and I'll take a break and go to the sewing machine. Okay, so here we are back. I pulled our 3 lights out of the bag, the large lights, wide lights, and I've pulled the 3 wide darks. The measurements on these are on your pattern, so you'll be able to tell which bag to take them from. So now I sort of mixed them up so they're not exactly the same pattern or anything. And we're gonna take 1 light and 1 dark wide strip. And we're going to lay them right sides together. Like this. They've been in the bag for a while, so you may want to iron them out before you stitch them. So then I'm going to pull the sewing machine towards me. Remember, 1/4 inch seam. You can pin them if you like, or you can just line them up as you stitch them. That's up to you. And we're going to start at this end and start stitching a 1/4 inch all the way down. And I usually hold my hands like this to help it line up. And I'm sure Tiffany will make this speed through, so I don't have to speed through. She'll do it, her magic on it, so it won't take so long to get from one end to the other. So if I was going to do them all, I would do 1 stitch all at the same time and as a chain. But I have another class I have to teach with these, so I'm not gonna do chaining right now. So I'm just going to put the sew off on here and clip this off, and then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to start on this side and stitch all the way down again, a 1/4 inch. So we're making a tube out of this. And be sure you've got right sides together. have a tube with a 1/4 inch on this side and a 1/4 inch on that side. So it's like this, okay? You'll have done all 3 of your wide ones like this. I'll go ahead and do the narrow one right now so you'll be able to see it also. Well, it's a single, so I'm just gonna lay it together and tell you how I'm gonna do it. So we've got the narrow, like this. And we've got dark, and you've got the narrow light strip. And all your measurements are on your pattern. So it will tell you what the widths are. And you're going to sew your 1/4 inch down each side of this also. And then we're going to stop for a minute and we'll go to the cutting board and I'll show you how to cut. So here we are back and we're working on block F. It's the larger tube. And it will tell you on your pattern what line you want to put your blue tape on so you don't have to look every time you flip your material. So then this line that we're going to use with the blue tape, we are going to lay that on the stitching line, not on the edge, but on the stitching line. If you lay it on the edge, you're going to have the wrong size half square triangle. So we'll lay that line on the stitching line and we are going to cut up and down. And then this is what you're going to have. And you will be ironing it towards the dark. I'll just finger press it for right now. And that will be a perfect square, just the size you want it. You can cut off your little dog ears. Cut down on the bulk. Like that. And that's your first one. Then, and you're not gonna, I don't flip my ruler like this. I take and flip the material. And then I can keep cutting this direction. So I'm gonna lay my blue tape on that line. And I'm gonna make a fresh cut on both sides. It'll be a small one, but each side has its own line, seam line that it's cutting from. So it's best to make a fresh cut from each side. And here's your next one. Flip it again. Lay your ruler on the seam line. Stitch up, cut up, and cut down. And you are going to make of these half square triangles. All of them iron towards the dark. So you'll have 12 of these. Then you're going to take your narrow strip, and you will be only cutting 8 of these. And it tells you the size on there, and you will be, again, laying it on the seam line. Once you stitch it, you will put your new measurement on here and lay it on the seam line and cut. And then flip it again, lay it on the seam line and cut. There'll only be 8 of these, and there will be 12 of the F. So these are F blocks. The narrow is the G block. Remember, put them back in the bags that are labeled for them so you will know where they are and they're not scattered all over your box. And that is it for today, and we will see you next month. Only 2 more months left. Bye.